A small fire in Washington, D.C. has triggered a shutdown of the US Capitol building, showing just how tight security is heading into Inauguration Day. Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen joins us live now from the National Mall. And Annalise, protesters have largely stayed away.
They have indeed. There was concerns, particularly on the Sunday, that there were going to be large groups of protesters, but the city has stayed quiet, mostly because it's really in lockdown. The National Guard's out in force, around 21,500, and now in Washington, D.C. alone, that's expected to get up to 25,000. Now, that incident you mentioned before shows just how tense things are. What they discovered was it was a small fire lit in a camp where people who were of no fixed address were sleeping in tents, and so there really was a minor incident very far away from the Capitol building, but they're not taking any chances at the moment. Right now, we're on the National Mall, which, as you can see, has become a sea of flags. Now, this is part of the whole inauguration process to keep the spirits up when people are kept out of what's normally the biggest symbol that you have of the support of the peaceful transition of power in the world's most powerful democracy. Here instead, we're going to have 200,000 flags, both US flags and flags representing each state and territory in the United States. That's really going to represent those Americans who would have travelled here but for the pandemic. And in the meantime, it's surrounded by security, unscalable fences. And now there's even extra vetting of the National Guard that have come to Washington, D.C. with concerns that extremists could infiltrate their ranks to get close to President-elect Joe Biden. The FBI has announced that they're now vetting each of the National Guards, trying to find if there's any ones that raise red flags for further vetting and prevention of any potential violence. This is going to be an Inauguration Day scaled down like we haven't seen in a very long time in the United States. There are going to be no mass gatherings. Even the parade will just be a small military showing. And in the days leading up, security is getting tighter by the day.
Yeah. Hey, Annalise, the weather looks really nice at the moment. Is there a forecast available yet? What is the expectation on Thursday?
We've been keeping a really close eye on the weather because we know it's often quite bad in the US in January. Even Ronald Reagan's second inauguration, they had to move most of it inside because the temperatures got so low into the negatives Fahrenheit, which gives you an idea of just how bad it could be. But this year does look like it's going to be the one gift that we get in a very tumultuous year. It doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. And these couple of days are just, I'd say, pretty balmy.